Now, your Local 2 forecast first. Sponsored by Benny Boyd Andrews.
Hello, I'm Chief Forecaster Horace Brown, your local weather authority. Check out the highs for today. Temperatures in the 60s, upper 50s too. This is close to the average for this time of the year, but changes tonight. We're going to see some cold air move in. We're looking at about 40 degrees at midnight, 31 in the morning, so that's below freezing, and how about 55 as early as noon. Let's start the best local news in the basin right now.
Played or anything, that would slow them down.
A plea for pedestrians tonight. Speeding reaches frustrating levels for a nearby daycare in Fort Stockton.
Also, a 4-day fire finally stops burning in Reeves County. We have the latest after Thursday's gas plant explosion.
And progress on a new entertainment center in the basin moving forward fast when Synergy Cinemas Odessa set to open.
Live from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, we're Basin Trusted, Basin Proud. This is Local 2 News at 10 in HD.
Good evening, I'm Stephanie Sobek.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Tyler Thomas, and it's great to have you with us for Local 2 News at 10. We'll get to those top stories in just a moment, but first, we begin with something that's hard to ignore. You might have noticed things look just a little bit different here at Local 2 News.
Tonight marks the beginning of our HD era, and we want to show you around the new place. Local 2's Lupi Zapata leads us off with a quick tour tonight. Lupi?
Now, Local 2 started broadcasting on December 18th, 1953. Now, we've come a long way since then, but now we are completely upgraded. We're in a brand new building with all new cameras and equipment. Now, I'm here in our control room where all of the action happens. This is the heartbeat of our news broadcast. Now, behind me, every button they push, you see on air. Now, this crew behind the scenes gives us the opportunity and makes it possible for you to get the best news coverage in the basin. Now we're going to take you live to our newsroom where Ryan Martin will show you where all of the work gets done. Ryan?
Thanks, Lupi. I'm here in our new newsroom, and as you can see, it's quite the upgrade from the old building. A lot goes into making a newscast, and this room is key for that to happen. Now, Local 2 News has been around for 62 years, and we have brought you news from all across the Permian Basin. We were also the first newscast in the basin, and we're proud of that. We thank you for joining us and helping us usher in a new era here in the basin. Ryan Martin, Local 2 News.
New tonight, a speeding problem plagues Main Street in Fort Stockton, but the bigger problem, a daycare sits nearby. Local 2's Lauren Tropea saw the speeding firsthand. She's live in the studio tonight. Lauren?
Stephanie, Tyler, the speed limit near one daycare downtown is 25 miles per hour, but as I saw, some drivers pushed 35. Now the Fort Stockton Police Department trying to be proactive.
Okay, it's done 31, 32, 31. Of course, that vehicle was 5 miles over the speed limit.
You might not know that there's a daycare right in the middle of a busy business district like what we have downtown.
In the middle of Main Street, Fort Stockton, Texas.
And at times, we have a tendency to forget about our daycares.
I see through the windows and I can see the cars passing by fast.
I wanted to see the speed for myself, so I got behind the radar gun.
30. He's hitting 30. 34. He's going faster.
Something not surprising for Alita Fabella, the owner of Tiny Tots Daycare Center.
I'm concerned because there's a lot of kids, a lot of parents that have to cross the street to pick up kids or drop them off.
Newborns all the way up to 12-year-olds, and she says posting a few simple signs could save a child's life.
A sign that would say, children crossing or, anything like that to make the public aware.
In the downtown area is 25 miles per hour, but there in just residential areas it's 30 miles an hour.
Unfortunately, some of the daycares sit within residential areas. Right now, Fort Stockton Police Chief Art Fuentes tells me the department wants to bring awareness to this area.
Hopefully that we don't have to go into the extreme measures of having to put the officers out there to issue citations.
But in the meantime, Tiny Tots took action to avoid any accidents by installing a special security door so children can't run out into the street.
We're just afraid there's going to be a tragedy or, anything like that.
Now, Fort Stockton Police will work with council members to possibly install signs and even lower the speed limit. The topic will be brought up in the next council meeting in 2 weeks. Live in the studio, Lauren Chopea, Local 2 News.
Making improvements tonight. Lauren, thanks for that. Staying in Fort Stockton, after 100 years in the same building, the city gets a brand new Public Safety Center. The new place will include code enforcement, a courtroom, and dispatch. Officials tell us they've been dealing with leaky roofs and old computers at their current spot. No date set yet, but they're currently drawing up the plans. They hope to get things rolling in January. Meanwhile, a former Odessa police officer awaits a big decision tomorrow in regards to where a sexual assault trial will be held. Salvador Becerra faces several felony charges. He's accused of groping women during traffic stops.
Yeah, he and his defense team seeking a change of venue for the trial due to what they call unfair media coverage. They want the trial to be moved to Midland County. A judge is expected to decide tomorrow. Moving to Midland, 2 crimes, 3 people, and plenty of questions. Midland police need your help finding a trio. We're told that these 3 people right here on your screen might be connected to car burglary crimes and credit card abuse crimes. If you recognize them, call Midland Crime Stoppers tonight.
And as the case heats up, a 4-day fire finally burns out the Ramsey gas plant in Orla, no longer suffering from flames tonight. You'll remember an explosion last Thursday led to minor injuries. It forced hundreds of evacuations. An investigation into the cause of the blast continues tonight. Around America, President Obama's speech tonight prompted by the husband and wife shooting team who launched the deadliest act of terrorism on American soil since 9/11.
As Cecilia Vega explains, the search for answers leading to the home where they may have secured their most lethal weapons.
Tonight, the investigation into that deadly shooting turning to a raid of the family home of Enrique Marquez. Law enforcement saying he is Farouk's one-time friend and neighbor, suspected of supplying him with those 2 high-powered rifles used in that massacre. The FBI raiding the home overnight.
Did he provide the guns to Farouk?
Authorities say there is no information that Marquez played any role in the shooting that left 14 dead. Marquez now reportedly checked himself into a mental health facility.
They keep to themselves. They're very neighborly. All their children, they're good kids.
This neighbor says she noticed a change in Farouk about a year ago.
Before he started to change, what was he like? What's the biggest differences?
The biggest difference was his dress, his beard. He was more withdrawn. He started growing more beard, and he started wearing his white things, the long drape outfit, whatever it is. And so he did start changing.
But no one says they noticed any warning signs of the terror that was to come.
I mean, I never saw them talking about guns or anything like that. I never heard them say anything suspicious.
Tonight, this new photo of Farouk and his family, his sister and brother-in-law now saying they too are angry for not knowing Farouk and his wife were living a double life.
Do you feel like you didn't know your brother?
No, at this time I feel like he had a double life. I feel like he was very good at concealing everything from all of us.
But his father telling an Italian newspaper his son was fascinated by ISIS, hated Israel, and that he shared ideology of ISIS leader al-Baghdadi.
Back here in the Lone Star State talking education, the Texas Education Association needs to decide how to divvy up $130 million to the state's public pre-K programs. The agency holding a public meeting for input. These funds expected to improve and expand on early education.
The TEA says the meeting will help establish qualification for school districts to meet in order to receive grant money. Some education experts want full-day pre-K and smaller class sizes, while others say that would be too expensive. The agency hopes to start awarding grants to districts during the next school year.
And back here in the Basin, Midland health officials say, nope, it's not too late to get your flu shot. The city plans to open a clinic at the Health and Senior Services Center from 8 until 4 on December 7th and 11th. It's part of National Influenza Vaccination Week. Shots cost $20 for babies 6 months to 2 years old, $30 for those ages 3 to 64, and $40 for anyone older than that. Over in Odessa, a new movie theater with a summer 2016 opening date takes steps closer to completion. Here's a look at the construction progress. You'll remember back in June, Synergy Entertainment Group closed on this property along Highway 191 just east of Faudree Road.
A helicopter, Santa, and giveaways, all that and more headlined a weekend event to help feed those in need. The West Texas Crawlers spent Saturday hosting Crawl Over Hunger. Dozens showed up outside Market Street in Midland for the food drive. All donations go straight to the West Texas Food Bank.
We enjoy it. I mean, I love giving back as much as I can. You know, I may not be able to, with the money, but I come out here and support as much as I can.
People who stopped by brought canned food to hand off to the food bank. Santa making several stops this weekend. He arrived by plane for the 10th annual Toys for Tots Fly-In and Chili Cook-Off. The event drew a crowd Saturday at the CAF in Midland. Dozens showed up to fill up a trailer with unwrapped toy donations for the Salvation Army. Cockpit tours were also included.
We want to give back to the community. We're here to help everybody. Helping kids, what else could be better during this time of year?
After landing, Santa stuck around to give kids small gifts and to pose for pictures.
Hopefully all the kids smiled for the camera. All right, sticking with the Christmas theme tonight, the MCH Center for Health and Wellness launched its Christmas extravaganza Saturday at Mission Fitness in Odessa. It featured a holiday shopping craft fair inside the gym. Multiple vendors came out to sell their crafts, goodie bags, refreshments, and gifts, all part of the party.
It's been neat to see the things that people are picking up for loved ones and to see the vendors have an opportunity to sell the things that they create. There's some awfully creative people.
Organizers say the weather could not have been more perfect for the holiday event.
Coming up, bells ringing and news teams competing. Find out who raised the most money for the Salvation Army.
Also,
in 1998, we would not have been able to do this show here in Odessa, Texas.
The Laramie Project front and center in Odessa. Hear why an actress hopes to play changes views on gay rights.
And your weather headlines. Taking a look at a pretty mild forecast for your Monday. 70s on the next several days. We're talking Tuesday through Friday. Cooler weekend, though. We're going to talk about all this and weather. Stay with us.
Now, your Local 2 Weather Authority forecast with Horace Brown.
Welcome back. Horace Brown joining us to talk weather. And this weekend really could not have been any better for if you wanted to do anything outside, all these events happening. Yeah.
Very light winds, cool temperatures, but we've got some changes coming up that you might like too.
Okay.
Okay,
Tell
here we go.
more.
Let's start with the almanac. Talk about what happened today. How about 61 for a high, 34 the low this morning. Normal temperature 60 and 32, so we should be at around 60 degrees and freezing for morning lows. We could get there tomorrow. 8 degrees, a record low set back in 1950. All right, outside right now, we're starting to cool off. We've got clear skies out there, and so temperatures are dropping. We're looking at 40 degrees currently, wind chill at 40, calm winds, so that doesn't give us much of a wind chill, and humidity levels also on the rise. They're at 77%. Let's check out your neighborhood, see what's going on there. 40s across most of the basins, in the 30s though in Seminole, Hobbs at 34, Pecos at 38, 33 in Alpine. Alpine, you're going to start out cold tomorrow morning, so get the jackets out. You'll need them for a period, but you'll be able to take them off. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s in West Texas. Gets a little bit warmer from, say, Del Rio down to Corpus and Brownsville. Seeing temperatures there still in the 60s, so they're holding on to some of that warm air. And again, we're seeing calm winds. Wind speeds at times at 7 in Alpine. This is not bad at all. 8-mile-per-hour winds down in parts of the Big Bend, so winds are starting to pick up. Humidity levels also on the rise. 86% in Alpine, 81 in Pecos. Could see some patchy fog or maybe even a little light dew on some of the windshields. And with temperatures dropping tomorrow morning, that ice could kind of stick to the windshields. So get ready to warm up your cars before you start. High pressure is still in control of our weather. Cold front rolled through today. That's why we were cooler. Weak trough out to the west. We'll see several of these disturbances rolling through, but we're not expecting much with it. Just a few clouds will roll into our forecast. As a matter of fact, satellite radar composite not showing much in the way of clouds yet. but we take it hour by hour. Hour by hour forecast does bring some of the cloud cover our way, especially across some of the northern counties, but that's really about it. No rain, snow, or ice. Nothing, just a few clouds. But don't worry, temperatures are still going to be very nice. All right, check out the northern basin. Here's what you can expect overnight. Looking for temperatures to drop a little bit. 28 in Hobbs, 34 in Big Spring, 33 in Jowell, 26 in Carlsbad. But look at the numbers tomorrow. Mainly in the low 60s, but Lovington, you'll warm up to 68 tomorrow. Central Basin, 34 for Odessa, 31 for Midland, 37 for Grand Falls, Barstow at about 35, and then plenty of 60s found. Low, mid to upper 60s expected, 67 at Cope Ranch, and then Trans-Pecos, 30s expected, 20s though in Pecos, 42 in Sanderson, 43 around Dryden. Dryden 70 degrees tomorrow, 67 in Balmorhea, and Fort Stockton at about 66. How about the mountains? Of course, it's cold there. Marfa 20, 31 in Alpine, at 25 in Fort Davis. Even freezing in Valentine, Van Horn at 29, and then plenty of 60s there. 69 down around Brewster. Looking at Presidio at about 65 and 69 in Marathon. All right, 7-day forecast. This is nice. This is what you're talking about this time of the year. Great shopping weather. Tuesday, 70 degrees, 68 on Wednesday, mid-70s Thursday, 73 Friday. And then as we get a couple of days off, Saturday, Sunday, it gets cold again. So we're going to need the sweaters this weekend. But all in all, fantastic forecast. Even the nighttime lows will get into the 40s. So we're looking at temperatures unseasonably warm this time of the year.
I was about to say, I'm glad winter decided to show up in December.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. But spring too. Spring stepping in there, taking a peek.
Mother Nature likes to keep you on your toes.
Absolutely.
All right, Horace, thanks for that. Well, it was great weather on Saturday for a little bell ringing. Stephanie and I faced off against Rebecca Jeffrey and John Mayer to see which news crew could raise the most money for the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign.
Each of us spent a couple hours outside Walmart and Loop 250 in Midland, and trash talk could be heard from one side to the other. So the tone was set pretty early. Woke up this morning, could feel it.
Oh yeah.
You were going to win.
And our bucket is definitely a lot heavier than the one on the other side.
They should just come over here and watch us, because honestly, they're not going to figure it out on their own. Let's be real.
No. Well, John Mayer, the results are in tonight. Rebecca and John collected a total of $216.81. Tyler and I, wait for it, gathered a total of $330.19. Both groups helped raise more than $500 for the Salvation Army. Tyler, way to go, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, a group of competitors put their stomachs to the test.
Find out what was on the menu in this eating contest.
Know of a community event or news story? Then contact us. You can call 432-563-4421. Email news@kmid.tv. Like us on Facebook at Local2News-KMID. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Local2News-KMID. Basin trusted, Basin proud. Tyler Thomason. Stephanie Sobek. Your weather authority, Horace Brown. And sports with Jeff Eberly. You're watching Local 2 News at 10 in HD.
Welcome back. A play centered on a hate crime opens to a new audience.
An actress in the show believes this production would never have made the Odessa stage 17 years ago. Local 2's Tyler Westner joins us live in the newsroom to explain why.
The Laramie Project is a play that tells the story of Matthew Shepard. He was a 21-year-old man in Laramie, Wyoming. He was murdered in 1998 because he was gay.
The point of the play isn't, if it's right or wrong to be gay. The point is that you shouldn't kill somebody just because they are.
Morgan McKeon tells me she feels honored to act in the Laramie Project, which hit the stage in Odessa this weekend.
Not everybody supports gay rights, and a lot of the characters in the play are very religious. They're Mormons, they're Baptists, they're, people like Odessans.
17 years ago, two young men kidnapped, severely beat, and tied 21-year-old Matthew Shepard to a fence to die.
In 1998, we would not have been able to do this show here in Odessa, Texas. But now the way things have progressed, we have same-sex marriage, so now we can do this.
Although the murder took place in Wyoming, director Jonathan Horn says the play still connects with the Permian Basin.
Laramie and Odessa, it's apples to apples, man. I mean, they're interchangeable. The things that happened in Laramie have happened in Odessa.
In directing the play, Horn hopes it leaves a lasting message for his audience.
My goal is if at least one person walks out of this space at the end of the show and goes, I've been living my life wrong. I've got to change the way I think about things. Then we did our job right.
Moises Kaufman wrote the play after going to Laramie and interviewing people there who knew Shepard, recalled his life up until his final days. Live here in the newsroom, Tyler Wessner, Local 2 News.
New perspective tonight. Tyler, thanks for that report tonight.
Sports Director Jeff Eberly joining us now, and I know we're getting close to Christmas. Basketball's in full swing, but there's still football yet to be played.
Yeah, our high school football teams, guys, here in the Permian Basin, unfortunately, they exited the playoffs last night. 2 six-man teams lost in the state semifinals. We got college football.
That's good news.
Great news, especially up in Lubbock. Texas Tech is going bowling. Coming up next on your local Big 2 Sports, Tech going to a bowl game. Red Raiders don't even have to leave the state. All the details on their postseason game next.
Now, your Local 2 Sports with Jeff Eberly.
What's good? Welcome into your Local 2 Sports. I'm Jeff Eberly. For the 37th time in program history, Texas Tech is going bowling, and the Red Raiders don't even have to leave the state of Texas. Tech is going to the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl, located in Houston, facing off against LSU from the SEC. Head coach Cliff Kingsbury said today, quote, "We are excited about the opportunity to play in the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl. It has a reputation for providing phenomenal experience for their teams. And LSU is a good football team, and we will have to play our best," end quote. Mark it on the calendars, Red Raider fans. Red Raiders, Tigers going at it Tuesday, December 29th. NFL action today. Texans, Bills, Houston going for its 5th straight victory. Early on, Buffalo gets going. Tyrod Taylor, Sammy Watkins, 3-yard touchdown connection. Buffalo goes up a touchdown. Move it to the 4th, like when the game really matters. Texans down 8. This helps Brian Hoyer to another Clemson wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. Texans are only down 2, so why not go for 2? And that's what they do. Jonathan Grimes, he's going to find the blue turf, and we are all tied at 21. But the Bills answer, and they respond. Taylor, out of Virginia Tech, finds Charles Clay. Hey, Texan secondary, where you at? Like, why don't you cover number 85? Buffalo wins this one 30-21. Texans now tied with the Indianapolis Colts. The Redskins are in first place in the NFC East standings. The Cowboys last, and without quarterback Tony Romo. How can America's team pull off the upset tomorrow night? Here's our insider, Mickey Spagnola.
Keys to the game, the Cowboys facing the Washington Redskins on Monday night outside Washington, D.C. The first key is going to be take care of yourself. Everybody's talking about the Redskins being the first place team in the NFC East. Well, guess what? They haven't won back-to-back games in the last 19 games. Here's another stat you might be interested in. In 12 of the last 16 games, opponents have scored at least 20 points against the Redskins. So the second key will be the Cowboys need to score points. So far this season, they've averaged only 18.5 points a game. That ranks 29th in the National Football League. And when it comes to yards gained, total yards, they're still only 29th. So the Cowboys need to juice up that offense if they expect to come away with a victory. And maybe one thing they can do to these Redskins in the game, run the football. The Redskins ranked 27th against the run so far this year. Opponents are averaging 4.7 yards a carry. Go ahead and run on those Redskins. And those are the keys for the Silver Star Nation. I'm Mickey Spagnola here at the ranch.
Run the ball and stop the run. Great keys for success. Now, last night marked the end of our teams in the high school football playoffs. Borden County and Buena Vista lost in the state semifinals. The Coyotes went 13-1 this season, but when it mattered most, suffered their first loss to Kroll, a team they beat all the way back in week 1. Borden County, like they always do, will have a lot of great players coming back next season. Buena Vista lost to Follett last night up in Friendship. That was also the Longhorns' first loss in 2015, but they'll come back strong in 2016. So that's it for Texas high school football in 2015 here in the Permian Basin. It was a great season, just like seasons past. There were many special moments we will definitely see again, guys, next fall.
So high school football is over here, but we were talking about it earlier, and I hear that a top 10 plays list is in the works in the sports office.
We talked about that on Friday night last week, and there's a great possibility that the Midland Lee PAT off the referee's head might land the #1 spot.
Right. Maybe.
Throwing that out there. But you'll have to watch tomorrow on Local 2 News at 5 and 10.
That's what we call a tease.
That's what we call a tease. But also want to mention we got the little guys that are still in the football.
Toddlers.
Yes.
Can't forget about them.
Yeah.
For love of the game at all ages.
2 teams in Midland, 1 team from Odessa.
Yeah.
Headed to their state championship.
Any level of football is great football. And how are you doing on the fantasy team?
Doing great this weekend.
Did you win?
Made some good choices. So far, I'm supposed to win.
You're not saying.
Just saying.
Fingers crossed. All right, Jeff, thanks for that.
We're back after this.
All right, last look at 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the 60s tomorrow, with 70s showing up Tuesday, near 70 degrees Wednesday, 75 Thursday, 73 Friday, and then cooler this weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
This story just turns my stomach. Downtown Indianapolis was the scene for a possible world record this weekend. The world's top competitive eater, Joey Chestnut, reportedly broke his own record to defend his crown in the St. Elmo's Shrimp Cocktail Eating Contest.
He ate more than 12 pounds of shrimp in 8 minutes. That record still has to be officially verified. Joey Chestnut has been a competitive eater since 2005 and held the Nathan's International Hot Dog Eating Contest title for 8 years.
I like shrimp, but man.
Now I don't.
You like it that much?
Not like that.
Not anymore.
No.
I don't know if I like it anymore, to be honest with you.
Oh, man. Better him than us.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's all the time we have tonight at 10. Thanks so much for hanging out with us and checking out the new place. We hope you like it because we love it, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great night and a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.